Hello, dear ones. This month our theme is curiosity, and I've been thinking a lot about curiosity, the power of curiosity, its redemptive power, and also what holds us back from being curious about so many things. And I was reminded of this wonderful Hindu folk tale, which is about the power of fear, because I think sometimes fear is at play when we want to be curious, particularly about spiritual things, that we're so afraid of getting it wrong, of finding things we don't want to find out about ourselves. And that fear holds us back from being more curious than we can be. So this man was being punished. He was a humble man. And they said, you are going to be imprisoned all night long with a poisonous snake. We're going to put you in this cell, and if you move at all, it will prove your guilt, and the snake will strike you and kill you instantly. So they placed him in the cell, and then they, in this darkened cell, placed the snake over in the far corner of where he was. He stood all night long, barely breathing, because he was so afraid that if he moved at all, that snake would strike him. So he stayed perfectly still for a long, long night through the darkness. Then slowly light began to dawn. Without moving a muscle, he looked into the corner and saw slowly that the snake's shape was more mysterious than he had expected. He had been very careful not to look in that corner, because every time he did during the night, it just encouraged him to be more afraid. But as the light came more and more into the room, he started looking over in the corner, and it dawned on him, oh my God, that's not a snake. That's a rope. And they placed me here because I was held prisoner from my own fear. Yes, they created the context, but it was my fear that actually held me prisoner. And he was set free, and from that moment on, he was a changed man, much more open to others, much more generous with others, because it awakened him to how much fear had been at play in his life. Now, we are living through a pandemic where the whole foundation of our lives is filled with concern, real fear, and that balance between fear, curiosity, and risk. But I'm hoping, even in this time of pandemic, that we can find ways to be curious about life and about one another, even though we are confined in our lives at home, not seeing one another socially. But let's still find ways to be curious. Thank you so much for being with me today.